There's a group of hogs down there feeding. When I busted through that brush, stepped up on this log, there was a big old spotted gar laying right here in this creek. And it shot off out that way. I spooked it. Ah ha ha! Yes! What is going on, everybody? I hope y'all can hear me over these leaves crunching. It is about that time. It is about time to slap the old fishing rig on the striker and get down here and see if we can stick some fish. We've had a really warm winter this year, the last 3 weeks of winter anyways, and the water temperature is warming up. It's probably getting close to surface temperature of 55-60 degrees in these creeks, so the gar are going to be spawning soon. I want to get down here to a creek and see if I can find some. I need the sunlight, but the weather's just not cooperating with me. The sun shines on days that I work, it gets cloudy on days that I'm off, so we're just going to do the best we can with what we got. Get down here to the creek and see if I could find some gar. I'm hoping they've pushed up. I was heading towards the creek and I got a couple 100 yards from it, but I'm on top of a hill. The creek's below me and there's a group of hogs down there feeding. I got the stuff to get the job done. I just don't know if I could slip up on them. I brought some 12-inch bolts with me, and I got some of those two blade broadheads. They're down there a couple 100 yards, maybe a little bit further, but they're on the other side of the creek. The creek's too deep for me to cross. It's probably chest deep, so I'm gonna have to go around a ways into the woods and come back on it, but the wind's in my favor, so I'm excited about this chance. I'm gonna get the bow fishing rig off the bow because it's silver and shiny, and I don't know, I didn't come dressed to hunt, but maybe. Ain't nothing to taking these bow fishing rigs off. I only got the 120-pound bow. I wish I had the reverse draw bow, or even the 150 at this point. I bow fish with the 120-pound limbs. I didn't expect to see a hog, and even if I did, I'd still brought the 120-pound limb bow because that's just the one I bow fish with. All right, we're gonna get this stuck in the backpack. They're just not paying me a lick of attention, but they're down there a pretty good ways. All right, now I can't sneak and talk at the same time. So if by some miracle I get up there within about 10 or 15 yards of these pigs, that's where I'm gonna pick you back up. That old sow seen me raise my bow. She wasn't but about 10 yards from me. Just some brush in the way. I followed him up and over the hill in these leaves. Don't it seem strange that a group of hogs that large can vanish into thin air? I mean, I got them pinned up against the lake down here, but I got the wind in my favor. But I've snuck around in here trying to look down off into this mess, and I just can't find them anywhere. I don't know where they went. That's what you get when you're hunting with tiny bows. I was within 40 yards of that whole herd, had perfectly clear shots, but you just got to get them closer. If you want a challenge, you pick up one of these itty bitty bows and try to hunt with it. You got to get the critter close. Inside 15 yards. Y'all are always asking me, how far will I shoot with these bows? I will not take a shot on a critter outside of 15 yards. They'll shoot further than that. Everybody argues, well, I can take 30-yard shots on a bag. You can take 30-yard shots on a bag, but the arrow is not going to get to your target before it moves. I am telling you, I've killed like 10 deer with them, a couple hogs. 15 yards is how close you need. And we was with him 15 yards, but that old sow seen me raise my bow up and there was just a fallen tree between us I was using for cover. I got excited, raised my bow too fast, and she busted me. She was gonna walk out right at my feet. Anyways, let's get the bow fishing rig back on there and get back to the creek, see if we can find a fish. They're easier targets. It's been about an hour since I've seen them pigs, and I've changed my game plan up for the day. Instead of scouting that spot out that I was wanting to scout out, I jumped in the truck, come around the lake, because I know where them hogs are going. I am going to try to cut them off. And I know that chances are pretty slim, but that last close encounter has got me willing to try. I went ahead and threw the reel back on the bow because coincidentally, there's a creek down here that I wanted to scout out anyways. Last time I was down here, I had my cousins with me and we were all shooting gar. The fishing was tough, but we got some gar shot. Whew, I remember that day, had a big old pot of gumbo sitting at the house waiting. Took him gar back and fried him up, had us a good time. It's also the exact same spot where those Van Wert brothers baited that hog up for me and I shot her with the Vlad. Well, I wish I had them down here now. I'd have these hogs bait up in 30 minutes. It's right here where I'm hunting. It's not just as easy as calling them up. You can bow hunt this, but if you're gonna run dogs, you have to have permits, and that's not something I can just get done in a day. Anyways, we're gonna run down here to the creek. We're gonna try to be real sneaky. Chances are slim on me seeing the hogs again, but I'm gonna scout out that creek for bow fishing, and at the very least, I'm hoping to get a fish shot. So now I'm gonna quieten down, slip through them woods real slow, and just see what the day gives me. I made it down to the creek. I could actually see into the water very well. It's much clearer than I thought. A turtle. I don't see any fish though. Not right here anyways. This right here is where I think those hogs are gonna be, in this thicket. But as soon as I make this corner, I no longer have the wind in my favor, which is gonna make it impossible to sneak up on them. So I guess what I'm gonna do is just ease around this and see if I can find some fish. Maybe if I get lucky and they're back on this side somewhere, I'll be downwind from them. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep chipping away at the day. It's not always as easy as you think. Oh, I've got great news. When I busted through that brush and stepped up on this log, there was a big old spotted gar laying right here in this creek, and it shot off out that way. I spooked it. It was so fat and healthy, it looked like it was about to bust. That means they are moving up in here to spawn, which means I'm probably gonna be able to find them if I just ease slow around this bank. Oh, I'm excited about that. Here's another one over yonder. Let's see if we can get over there to it. And the sun's coming out. Hot dog. Ah, yes! First one of the year. Gonna have fried gar tonight. Yes. I didn't get the hog, but we're gonna fry up some fish. I still get excited. I need a couple more though. I seen one swim up in here, but by the time I got my camera turned around, it swam under that log. It has to come back by me to get out. If I'm just patient enough to stand here and wait. I doubt that though. Fixing to ease down the creek a little bit further and see what it looks like. If I get over there and get up on top of that log, I'll be able to look down and see it. Oh gosh, it's gonna get under the log. I don't know if I got it. I missed it. There it goes. Oh man. Ah, it got off into the creek. I would miss that one. That's not even the same one I seen swim under the log. That was a big one. Doggone. I'm definitely gonna have to move down the creek just a little ways. If these big fish are coming up shallow to sun, we're in business. I've came up the creek a pretty good ways, and I ain't found no more fish. So they're not spawning yet. They're just pushing out of that deep water up into the creeks, and they're sitting on the edge. The sun is trying to get warmed up. It's not quite warm enough for them to start spawning, I suppose. Oh, here in about a week, if the weather holds out, we'll be in business. I just hope the water's this clear when they do start to spawn. I'm gonna go back over there to where I was at and see if I can catch a couple more swimming up into that shallow water. Well, I've been perched up here for about 10 minutes and I've lost the sun, so I can't see into the water very good no more. The guards just aren't moving like they were when I guess when I come in here, there were several of them and I kind of stirred them up and they were swimming in and out. And now that I've pushed them out, they ain't coming back. That is a good sign. That means they're starting to push up into these creeks, getting ready to spawn. That one I missed over there, that was a big one. So in a couple weeks, it's gonna be money. We'll come down here and shoot them until we're tired of shooting them. I'm gonna ease back over there and get my backpack and that one fish. That youngest boy of mine, he's a picky eater. He won't eat anything, but he'll eat any fish you put in front of him. You roll it in cornmeal and fry it, and he will tear it up. I'm gonna take that gar home to him. He likes gar probably the best because they fry up a little firmer than regular fish. Regular fish like catfish or crappie, it's flaky, but gar is just a little bit firmer meat when you fry it. Almost like a cross between fish and a McDonald's chicken nugget. I'll take that home to him and he'll have himself a little feast tonight. I think I'm about to collect everything up. It's supposed to rain today, tomorrow, and the next day, but in a couple weeks we'll be in business. I'm gonna get out of here before it rains. I appreciate y'all watching. I've had a good time. I hope you've had a good time watching. That's all I have for today. We'll catch you next time.